Hello everyone. We will be going over the biblical timeline of the kingdom of Israel and Judah. I hope this presentation will be very helpful in understanding Old Testament historical books. Our story begins after 1100 BC, when Samuel is the prophet and the one who leads the people of all the tribes of Israel. In the book of 1 Samuel chapter 8, we could read a turn of event that the elders of Israel asked prophet Samuel to anoint a king for them. After God heard their cry, prophet Samuel anointed the first king of Israel, Saul. King Saul started well, but later he disobeyed God by not fully obeying God's commandments. Therefore, God rejected Saul and started to seek a man who will be after God's own heart. Soon after, prophet Samuel anointed David. It is through King David that Israel becomes a unified nation, where all the 12 tribes unified under one king. As you can read in book of 1 Samuel, David fully obeyed God, and God made a covenant with David that he will establish David's throne forever. After the death of David in the books of Kings, Solomon became king over all Israel. He was a very wise king, and Israel enjoyed the most prosperous time in their entire history. Solomon helped build the city of Jerusalem and the temple of God. But towards the end of Solomon's life, he did not continue obeying the laws of God. He disobeyed God by worshipping false gods and building temples for other gods. This truly displeases God. After the death of Solomon, his son Rehoboam became the new king of Israel. God caused 10 tribes of the northern Israel to rebel against Rehoboam's rule. Shortly, the kingdom divided into two. Under the leadership of Jeroboam, the 10 tribes of the north formed their own kingdom known as Israel. And the remaining two tribes, Judah and Benjamin of the south, formed the southern kingdom, Judah. Throughout the entire history of Israel, all kings disobeyed God one after another. Subsequently, God allowed Israel to be defeated and captured as slaves by the Assyrians around 721 BC. Afterwards, 10 tribes of Israel dispersed and lost forever. The southern kingdom of Judah followed similar ways. There were few good kings, but more bad kings, who brought people away from the true God and lead them to idolatry. Afterwards, God allowed Judah to be defeated and captured as slaves by the Babylonians around 586 BC. But God did not fully destroy them because of his covenant to Abraham and then to David. As 2 Chronicles chapter 36 verse 23 read, God raised a new empire and a new king, Cyrus, king of Persia, to defeat Babylon and allow the people of remaining Judah to return to their homeland and rebuild Jerusalem. First group of Jewish people under the leadership of Zerubbabel returned to Jerusalem and rebuilt the Solomon's temple. Afterwards, a group under Ezra and another group under Nehemiah returned back to Jerusalem and rebuilt the walls. Under Ezra's leadership, people of God once again made covenant with God that they will obey all the laws of Torah and created a social and religious reformation. It was Ezra, with the help of other priests, who canonized the Old Testament books. But they never able to become an independent nation, and God did not anoint another king for them. For the next many years, they were always a colony of other nations. You may wonder, why do I need to know this biblical history of the kingdom of Israel and Judah, which covers almost 1,000 years? As you can see, if you know this overview of the history, we will understand where the books of the Old Testament are written from 1 Samuel all the way to Malachi. For example, books of 1 Samuel to 2 Chronicles chapter 9, including some portion of 1 Kings, and most of the poetry books were all written during the United Kingdom of Israel. The books of 1 Kings, chapter 12 to 22, and book of 2 Kings, and 2 Chronicles chapter 10 to 36, were all explaining the history and the events when the kingdom was divided and captured. Also, All the major prophets and minor prophets were written during the capture and the return of Jewish people back to their homeland. Therefore, all the books of the Bible has a history that needs to be examined. So hopefully this has been a blessing for you. I have placed all the resource links on the description below. If you like this video, please comment. Thanks for watching.